No! 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 No!
You guys are going to Game 5.
Carmelo Anthony!
Play the message.
Carmelo, what's up, my guy? This is Melo, man. We saw your video. I know how much you were looking forward to going to Game 5, but our Knicks went out there and got the sweep. So Fanatics and I decided we're sending you to the NBA Finals, the best place to watch here at home in the Garden. Happy birthday, Carmelo. Go Knicks. Peace. Stay mellow.
We did it! Oh my God! We did it! We did it!
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mark Edis, a.k.a. Shark, the PA announcer and DJ from your Savannah Bananas, and you are watching the Legends on Deck podcast with hosts Brian Koss and David Condi.
Welcome to episode 113 of the Legends on Deck podcast. I'm Brian Koss, along with my co-host, David Condi, and this is kind of a special championship celebration episode for David. New York Knicks, as you guys know, are NBA champions for the first time since 1973. Am I correct?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And we brought some special guests on today who kind of became internet sensations as a result of the Knicks' success this season. And we have Felix and his son, Carmelo Rios. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you having us.
Definitely. So I got to give the background a little bit, right? We always do it in the beginning of the show as to how that we bring certain people on. Sometimes we have a connection to the game. We have a connection to social media. I'm going to say I'm on Instagram most of the time, but, you know, I kind of go from different things, like either a Christian thing or a church thing or baseball thing, so the Knicks thing. So, you know, as things were progressing, I saw a video of a kid, which was Carmelo, and it was just like different videos that would come up, and I'm like, okay, this kid seems interesting. I want to, you know, keep watching, and I would kind of go in and out. And then the one thing that really stuck was when he was, don't know if it was your birthday, I could be wrong, but you were getting tickets.
It was
It was.
Your birthday. So you're getting tickets to the NBA Eastern Conference Finals for Game 5, correct?
Yeah.
And then, of course, our Knicks, as great as they were, did not go to Game 5. They went to Game 4. And unfortunately, I mean, but you seem great with it. Oh, you know, it's okay, you're not going to go. But you were excited that they won, right? So that's kind of what brought me to seeing. And then from that point, I was hooked. I was like, I got to watch this journey. I got to see where this goes.
You're locked in,
Yeah.
You know, you got to meet, you know, your favorite players and everything. So that's how I found you guys. So before we get to that point of the story, I want to go back to like the beginning. I want to start with a Felix. I'm a passionate Knicks fan, Mets fan. You know, we talked about it with the Mets. I've seen a lot of videos with the Mets, so I'm assuming that you're a Mets fan. Kind of give us a little bit of your background as to when you became a fan and the team that you root for.
Yeah, so growing up in New York, I'm not gonna lie, it's a Yankee town, right? Historically, but in 1986, I was 9 years old, and the first game that I ever went to just so happened to be opening day of the at Shea Stadium, it was the first baseball game I went to, so I fell in love with the players. The Darryl Strawberries, Hernandez, Gary Carter, Wally Backman, that whole squad, and all the history that went along with what they had going on. And it was such an exciting run, and with the way they dominated the season and how close of a team they were, and then they went to the World Series, and of course you had that historical moment. And they stayed a good team. They were a solid ball club for a few years, and there was no turning back. You had to choose. You got to choose early in New York, and I went orange and blue and never turned back.
Well, that's awesome. And then, where did the love of the Knicks? Did that around the same time?
Yeah, around the same time, because around that same time we had just drafted Patrick Ewing, which was a huge deal in New York, something like that. He was definitely like the golden child of New York City. I remember watching Mark Jackson, knowing about him when he was in high school, and then we ended up drafting him. He was Rookie of the Year, and going through, and in my high school years is when the Knicks started to get competitive, right? And they were constantly in the playoffs and just barely, missing out on taking it to that next level, because we had that Michael Jordan guy that kind of ruined a lot of dreams for a lot of us New Yorkers. But they were a strong team, and they seemed like they were always just one step away or one player away from making it to the promised land. I never turned my back on the Knicks, but it was pretty brutal. We went through a really dry spell for a long time. And I kind of, and there was no, I didn't find any solace in the Mets, right? Because they weren't helping out. So it was just kind of brutal times until, of course, then the Carmelo Anthony years kind of turned things around a little bit and brought a little respect back to the Garden. But again, something always just came up, and you kind of get used to preparing yourself for a worst case scenario. As much as it hurts to say, even this year, I just figured they were going to find a way to mess this up. But we hit a point where it was like, I think they're really going to do this. And it's been an amazing ride. And honestly, it undid any pain throughout the years. It's all been worth it. I wouldn't change anything.
What's funny is I share everything you just said. I was 13 when the Mets won the 86 World Series. I was in my room crying in Game 6, which is the same reaction I had in Game 4 of the NBA Finals. I was crying. Because that felt like my Game 6 of the Mets. And then same thing, Knicks 94. Mets were horrible. Knicks 99, Mets were horrible. 2000, I had to deal with the Yankee fans and all that nonsense. So you and I kind of went on the same journey. You're a little bit younger than me, but the same type of journey.
Yeah, of course.
But it's we share the same colors, right? And we share the same heartache.
That's orange and blue, right? Like you can't mess that up. And I like Syracuse is my my college team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Melo went there too.
Stuck on the orange and blue. Yeah.
Yeah. We're orange and blue all the way.
So Carmelo, how old are you?
I just turned 12 years old in May.
Okay. May what?
May 23rd.
Dude, you're not gonna believe this. My birthday is May 24th.
Oh no way!
I'm serious. I'll show you my license later.
I mean, same signs.
Yeah, So 12 years ago was when 2014?
Yeah.
2014, yeah.
Okay. So when he was born, did you give him the Knicks shirt and the Mets hat? That's what Melo did to me.
Yep, right out the gate. I think he came home in a Mets onesie. And we named him Carmelo so his birthday is May 23rd, and Carmelo Anthony became a free agent like 2 weeks after he was born. And it was like I either gave him the greatest name I could give a New York City kid or the worst name. Like they were either his name was going to cause emotions to come out of people one way or another. And luckily he re-signed, right? So and he didn't go to another team.
It was a huge gamble, but he did end up becoming one of the greatest Knicks of all time. Yeah. And as the story progressed with me, one of my best friends of all time.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Carmelo, I can call you Melo. Tell me, when did it really start to, like, you're 12, so, you know, you're kind of been on. When did you really start to understand the Knicks, the Mets, that passion? Like, when did it really click? Like, wow, I got to follow my dad's footsteps. Like, when did it really start for you? When do you remember?
I mean, I don't exactly remember this, but the Mets did go to the World Series a year after I was born.
True.
15 Mets.
Yeah.
You know, the David Wright, the Noah Syndergaard, the Avengers, they were called.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Kansas City, out of all teams, took that from us. I've always been a diehard Mets fan since birth. Francisco Lindor, I'm Puerto Rican, so he's always been my favorite player. And when I found out that we traded for him, that also went viral. And from then, well, it was just impossible. I can't, like, it's like illegal for me to switch. And then I became like an avid Knicks fan when we went to the playoffs in 22-3.
Yeah.
The year the Nuggets won.
The Bing Bong Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So oddly enough,
Randall led Knicks.
Oddly enough, when he was so let's take it back. I get when he was like 4 or 5, there was a WBC, and my mom lives in Puerto Rico. She sent him they didn't have kids jerseys or for toddlers. So she sent him like a jersey that would fit him like a dress, right? But it was a Francisco Lindor jersey, but it was the only jersey he had, but it fit him like a full bodysuit, and he would wear it. So just through that, Francisco Lindor became his favorite player because it was the jersey that he had. And he was on, at the time, the Cleveland Indians before they became the Guardians. And when Francisco Lindor got traded to the Mets, he was in school, and I set his room up with a sign that said, you know, Francisco Lindor is a Met. And I recorded his reaction. I had no idea what was going to come out of that, but he was so happy that he instantly burst into tears, and it went viral like immediately. Like, and this was during the pandemic, and it was like January 7th or 8th. It was really early in the year. And Francisco Lindor's agent reached out to us, and the Mets reached out to us. He was able to be he was on the press conference for Francisco Lindor signing. We couldn't be there in person because of COVID. But it was a really big deal, and he got all the media attention. He was on SportsCenter.
I'm sorry I didn't know you back then. I'm sorry.
It was a huge story. And again, the Mets, they were so good, and Francisco Lindor was the linchpin that was gonna like just blow him up to the next level, and they came close. And just no cigar, not quite yet. That's what makes this Knicks thing even more special, because like he got to have a taste of what it feels like at a young age, right? Because as a father, you don't want to force. And I said to myself I wasn't going to force it on him, but obviously he sees me supporting it. It's, you know, I didn't force it on him, but it's like, hey, look, you don't have to be a Mets fan. You just can't be a fan of anybody.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, so Carmelo, sorry, Carmelo.
Yeah, we call him Melo. Yeah.
You were born into this, right? So no one can ever say, "Oh, you just became." No, you were born as a Met fan. Your dad was a fan of Met, so pretty much it just carries into you. My kids, they root for the Knicks, but they don't like. I can go to a baseball game and they don't care. So your dad is crazy lucky, because I wish I can share a lot of what I have, I mean. We can go into stories, but I've done a lot of stuff with the Mets over the years and the connections and stuff. And I tell my kids all the time, like, you have no idea how great this is, but you're sharing that with your dad is huge, huge. Awesome.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a blessing. You know, the fact that we can have such a strong bond through sports that translates to so many other different avenues in our lives. But it's always there. So that's definitely. I know how lucky I am, and in all the comments and the feedback that we get from the videos that have gone viral, it does remind me of how blessed we are to be able to share these moments and to have our story resonate with so many other people and remind them why it is that they fell in love with sports in the first place. And we're living proof of all that's good in sports, so it's an honor to be able to to carry that cross.
And then fast forward like 5-6 years later, literally the same exact thing happens, which is like why I'm on here now. My mom giving me chance to Game 5 of the ECF, and then that gets upgraded to Game 4 of the finals with like all the Carmelo Anthony, like that whole thing. So my dad told me that something has to happen when I'm 18. I am a big like F1 fan. So, like Red Bull Racing, oh my god!
Or maybe that's when the Mets win it. Like
that's right. You're gonna be our spark plug for the next one. We're gonna have to wait. What's Carmelo doing? Okay,
I figured the equation yet, but this kid factors into it somewhere. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I'm just listening in on it, but and any sports fan, I think, of any city or whatever could relate in some way to it, right? So I grew up in Detroit. I moved down here to Florida. I'm in Orlando, and I moved when my son, who's a little bit younger than you, but not much, he'll be 11 in September, he was just born. So he doesn't really have like the roots and like even though my family and my in-laws, everybody's from the Detroit area. He's a Braves. He decided he's an Atlanta Braves fan in baseball. He started at like 5. He just like the year the Braves won the World Series. So I'm a Tigers fan. I'm too young. I was born in '84, and they won like 3 months later. So it was like, I've seen him go to 2 World Series and get smoked in both World Series, but they did have good years. And then I've seen the Pistons win 3 NBA Finals, and I watched those up close. I mean, when I was 5, 6, 7 years old, something like that, and then again when I was in college. So that was cool. I went to a number of playoff games in college, but then I've always had to deal with the Detroit Lions, and I'm really a diehard Lions fan. And it's just not, it's like one of those things that's never going to happen. But my son, he's got kind of mixed loyalties on different teams, but he does love the University of Michigan football. And he was super in when Michigan won the national championship in football like 4 years ago. He was way more excited than I was. Like, I mean, I got this video of him just going crazy when talking trash about, David knows my son. He knows how he talks. But so it's cool because he could, like I said, no matter where you're a fan of, you can kind of relate to, those moments, and especially with the father and son, and that kind of connection through sports is just kind of a special thing. Like I said, I kind of grew up my dad's Michigan Lions, Tigers, all the things. I saw the Red Wings win a few Stanley Cups too, but I'm still waiting. Like that, for me, it would be that Lions Super Bowl. Like I can anticipate the Tigers could win a World Series at some point just because they've cycled through. But I would say the Lions Super Bowl might be bigger than a Knicks championship.
For them.
So
For them.
yeah, exactly. So, but I just love the whole connection on that, and I appreciate when people pick up in the sports media and that pick up on those stories. So I'm glad you guys got the opportunity to get recognized, and then kind of like probably more so than you would have imagined.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. Like when you thought, you guys were just avid fans, and then you suddenly get recognized as being like super fans, and then all of a sudden you're getting invited by famous Knicks alumni to go to games. So how did you first get recognized?
So back to the baseball thing. So when this happened with Francisco Lindor, we did. We got invited by the Mets and Francisco Lindor himself and his family. They had us out to the stadium once it was no longer just the cardboard cutouts going to the games. And he got to meet the players and Francisco Lindor himself. But it was kind of more that was more private because we were like in the clubhouse and there were no cameras. So that part didn't get as much attention. And the Mets weren't, they ended up just missing the playoffs that year, and that kind of faded out. So in Citi Field, he kind of got recognized a little bit, and people knew who he was, and it was a cool 2 seasons. And then he got older. The media cycled through so many other stories. The Mets kept on doing what the Mets do, and we kind of just forgot about that. But then when this happened, he wanted to go. He got really into F1 last year, and we were actually planning. He wanted to go to Montreal because there was an F1 race on his birthday or the day after his birthday, and we ended up not going. But I didn't know why. My wife, she talked to me. She's like, for financial reasons, we really can't afford that. Let's just.
That was why?
Yeah.
He's looking on the
Imagine that. It would cost a lot of money to travel to go to Montreal.
I just thought that it was just because the tickets were like $16,000.
Yeah, well, I mean, the tickets were expensive. We had no idea that Mom was actually going to. I didn't know that she was doing that.
Hi,
there she goes.
Mom here.
Mom.
Little did they know, I was like, I just spent a fortune, guys.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to understand,
Yeah.
That just hit me like literally right now. Like that was why we didn't go. So this could happen.
Yeah. So, and we had, so it was, and immediately, because I recorded it from my angle and she recorded it from her angle. In my video, I don't know if you saw it on my page or not. I was like, yeah, this is amazing, except, and then we both looked at each other. It was like, the Knicks have to lose a game. Yeah. So, and they played on his actual birthday. So we're like, there's no way we want them to lose on his birthday.
Yeah.
And then we were kind of like, you can't actually root against your team. But the anticipation of it was such a big thing. And People magazine, they wrote a story on it like immediately.
No, but they wrote 2 stories.
Well, no, the first story they did it immediately. Actually, on your birthday on the 24th, and that got so much media attention. And like you said, all different fan bases, they kind of united behind this one kid. There were so many like Cavaliers fans that were like, or just teams that we beat. It was like, I'm not rooting for the Knicks, but I'm rooting for this kid. Like or even Knicks fans saying, I want a sweep, but I'll take a loss just so that you get to go to that game. And like, I thought that was nice, but as a super fan, I'm like, like I would never say that to anybody else. And even me, it's like, I would have loved to have gone to that game, but I was like, I'd take the sweep all day. Oh, because I don't want to give the Knicks a chance to mess it up. I didn't want him to have that heartbreak to see, no one's ever come back from down 3-0. I didn't want to be the first team to do that. So the fame from that, we didn't, you're living in the moment. You don't even understand until there's people just, calling his name out in the middle of the street. And they're like, yo, Carmelo's like, I hope you get to go. It's like, oh, wow. Okay. Wow. This is a really big deal. Yeah.
Can I?
Sure.
So during the whole Lindor thing, like I did get recognized, but it was only like, oh shoot, that's the Lindor kid. People are actually remembering my name now and just calling me out in the middle of the street. So that's the like insane upgrade that I got in 5 years.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, now he's Carmelo. He's not just he's little Carmelo. But yeah, so and it's the beauty of it is all the different fan bases, because when anything goes viral online, you're gonna have your fair amount of haters just in the comments, just being negative. But it was like 99.9% positive. Like no matter what sport you followed, everybody resonated with it somehow, and there was just a huge battle cry to get this kid to a game. So people offered money, and they just wanted us to start a GoFundMe, so that if we would have started a GoFundMe, we would have raised whatever our goal was in minutes at one point, because people just wanted this story to end well. People just wanted, I remember one of the comments was like, I know we all can't go, but we choose him to represent all of us.
Yeah.
Well, and as a father, I mean, wow, it's like that's, to have so many people, millions of people around the world feel exactly what it is that I feel when I have, my little best friend, a sports buddy with me. It was amazing. And it was in that I just said to myself, like, all the stars are lining up here. There's no way we're going to lose. We have to win. We have to win. And then, of course, as the story continues, we ended up getting tickets. Mom ended up getting tickets. And the actual
let me ask you a question, because you got tickets. Because I was watching the videos.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that you're sharing this part of it, because we only see what Instagram shows us, right? That one video. We don't see all this other stuff and know how it led to it and how everything opened up. But I know that she got tickets, but then she also got extra tickets, right?
Yeah. So, people in the comments, I almost felt bad at one point. Like, these players must hate us by now, because they were getting tagged. I mean, anyone that had anything to do with the Knicks was getting tagged thousands of times. Just what can you do about it? Spike Lee, Timothy Chalamet, Tracy Morgan, like the wives of the players. Yeah.
Some goober tagged Walt Clyde Frazier.
Yeah, Walt Clyde Frazier. Yeah. So
I bet you someone tagged Dolan.
Yeah, people just wanted us to be at that game, and behind the scenes, Fanatics had reached out to the one person that wasn't tagged was anybody at Fanatics. And they, behind the scenes, were working with my wife, and they wanted to gift us 2 tickets, which was great, because originally it was only 2 tickets, but this story had gone so viral that at this point I didn't feel right going without my wife. Because at this point, it's like, now we kind of all need to go, because I'll feel kind of guilty for going. And then I remember, even when she told me, she was like, yeah, it was 2 tickets, and I try to be the bigger person. I was like, you know what? I think you should go instead of me. And she was like, who are you fooling? Like, come on, like, I'm not like that. You're going, and that's that. But so we knew we were going to get 2 tickets. We had no idea that there was going to be the Carmelo Anthony thing. But then they reached out, and they said that Carmelo Anthony saw the video and he wanted to get involved. And
all this time, Carmelo doesn't know anything?
No, I didn't know anything. Neither one of us knew. But the day before, my wife, the night before, my wife told me what was happening behind the scenes. And when she said Carmelo Anthony made the video and is going to be the one to tell him, to gift him the tickets, I immediately started sobbing. Like, I couldn't believe that something so special was happening. I mean, it's like, I named my kid after this guy, so it's kind of like,
it was a full circle moment.
It was validation
together
that, it was kind of just meant to be, like, all this time. And then with the amazing run that the Knicks were on, I was like, wow, this is really, we're going to be a part of history. And it couldn't have gone any better. He had no idea that he thought he was just getting the Knicks shorts, and then he saw the jersey.
I have those on right now, actually. I have the shorts on right now.
And no one even had that jersey yet. So he had the jersey before the players even did. So that, that was amazing. And then we got gifted the 2 tickets, and then Kalshi reached out as well. And they gifted my wife an additional 2 tickets so that she can go. And, my nephew flew down, and
I saw that one. I saw when he came and surprised you in the house.
Yeah. The absolute last person that I was expecting was Cameron.
Yeah. So, and like, that was amazing to have him.
I was like asking my mom, like, it sounded like I was playing like Guess Who with her, like seriously, who is this guy?
Yeah, so that was great, and then getting we knew that it wasn't going to be a sweep, obviously, because they lost the previous game, but the game that we went to, there was so much behind it. I mean, it was chaos, the city, and Trump had just went to the game before. So
you went to the magical game.
Yeah. So, but they had set up all these new security barriers to get into the game. So it was a nightmare, and you had to get to the game, like, they suggested at least 2 hours early. And I remember, so our first experience where we knew the fame had gotten big, so there was only one way in, and 2 blocks before you made it even to the garden, you had to go through metal detectors, and the cops were being super nasty and not letting people in, and they corralled you into short spaces. People were getting upset. And this one female cop, I mean, she was very aggressive, and her tone was very nasty with people. She was just being very stern. And then she looked at him, and she melted like butter. She said, "Oh my God, you're Carmelo." She went from being this, like, move, scream. She's like, "Oh my God, you're Carmelo." And she's like, "Oh, I want to take a picture so bad, but I'm on duty and I can't." She's like, "Go ahead, guys, go right ahead." I was like, "Oh, wow." Okay.
Yeah, like I had no,
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to describe that. Like, I was talking to, like, my friends at school, like, guys, the cop again.
Yeah.
The cop on the way in.
And then, so then we went to the game, and we had 2 camera crews kind of following us the whole time. So it was the people from Good Morning America, and then CBS Mornings. And so he didn't know this part either. I knew about it, but he didn't. We were going to meet Carmelo Anthony on the court between the first and second quarter. So we got pulled out of our seats and get escorted down. He had no idea what was going to happen.
Well, I never have any idea what's going to happen.
Yeah,
so.
he just goes with the surprises. Yeah, so so we're courtside at this point, and it's like we see. I think there was something like, they told us there was 143 celebrities that are VIP guests to that game that were there, and we walked onto the court, and you see all of these, so-called, famous celebrities just turning their heads, because they're like, "Oh my God, that's Carmelo."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was such a fresh story, and like I didn't realize, like, so I feel kind of weird, like, because I'm overwhelmed. So the sports fan in me, like, forget the celebrity, just the sports fans alone. So right sitting next to Carmelo Anthony is Patrick Ewing, Latrell Sprewell, Larry Johnson, like John Starks. I couldn't, and it's like, yeah, Taylor Swift and everybody else was there, but I'm like, I couldn't believe this was happening. And then I was like, oh wow. And it's Spike Lee walks up to me. He's like, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I know that guy. Yeah. And then he had his moment with Carmelo Anthony. And at the time, we were down double digits at this point, but it was still just the end of the first quarter.
Patrick is doing like during when I met Carmelo Anthony, he was just like casually like smiling, just like watching the whole thing unfold. And it was beautiful, because we were all supposed to meet him, but honestly, like, we just stepped back and let him have his moment. You can tell how genuine he was, that this wasn't a publicity stunt. He was very touched by the video when he saw it, and it was very important for him to let my Carmelo know how much that meant to not only him but all the players and everyone that watched the video. And he gave them, all the time in the world. They shared this great hug. He was hugging him. It was like an uncle, that he hadn't seen in forever. And he just showed him so much love that I said to myself, win or lose, we're leaving this building winners. This is something that is going to change the trajectory of his life, even more so than it had already happened up till that point. But then we go back to our seats, and it just started getting real bad. Like then we're losing by a whole lot, and then all these their camera crews kept pulling us out to like do these like answer questions. And at one point, my mom also asked me like what Carmelo Anthony said to me, like as we were going back up to our seats. I'm like, Mom, I don't remember a word he said. Honestly, blacked out.
You were just frozen.
He was just going off a vibe.
I just met Carmelo Anthony. Like, am I supposed to remember? Like, what?
Well, I shared this with you guys before we got on, and I'm going to share it on here. So you guys see I'm wearing a Knicks shirt. This is not pre-planned. I didn't get this after the Knicks won. I've had this jersey for a few years, but it does have Melo 7. And it is a Carmelo Anthony jersey. So when all this is happening, I'm like, man, I gotta get in contact with this kid and his family. Like, we're connected in some way. But no, it's an amazing experience. Carmelo, I want to ask you, what was your thought process? Just like from when it all started, when you were surprised. Do you remember that? Because I know you probably have blanked out probably a lot. Like, just kind of share with us like your feelings of what all this has meant to you and this journey from the day that you got those tickets to how everything changed.
I mean, people have been saying that this was like the feel good story that everybody needed because, well, if you even look at the country right now, like it's insane. Like with all that's been happening. Well, like it's mainly just negativity. So just to know that, well, like one, I got to be a part of my first team championship of all time in my 12 years of existing on this planet, and one of the greatest runs in all of sports. Just knowing that I made an impact on so many of those people's lives has really been very special to me, and that means a lot to me.
You've inspired a lot of us. I mean, your dad, your parents, me. You had me in tears a couple of times myself. When the Knicks won, your dad had me in tears when he was in tears. It was like that emotion.
Lifelong
fans.
He unleashed a lot of trauma that I didn't know that I had just built in. Just in life in general. Because sports is your escape, right? Yeah, at least for me. Sports is the place I can always go to where you don't know what the outcome's going to be, and anything on any given night, you can have a win, or even in the losses, you can have a win. Your guy hits a home run or, scores a certain amount of points. Yeah, there's little wins and lessons in everything. And it's all this believing that anything is possible and seeing it unfold in front of your own eyes. Even the game that we went to, it was one of the greatest games ever in all sports.
It
right?
was the greatest game.
Yeah.
I think since Game 6 of the Mets, that was the greatest game.
to come down from that many points and he never wavered. Like, I was already prepared to give him the dad speech, like, hey, at least you got to meet, Carmelo Anthony. You don't know how lucky you are. We were able to, change so many lives, and we're going to be on TV in the morning. And he was just like, he was locked in. He was like, no, like, it's not over. It's not over. And then the second half, we got to really sit down and then the people sitting next to us, we were kind of getting on their nerves because we kept getting up to leave because we kept getting called out. But Fanatics posted the video of him meeting Carmelo Anthony at halftime. So when we went back to our seats at halftime, everybody in our section was like, "Oh my God, like that's where you were going?" Is like, and then it kind of united our whole section, and everybody was just, he had that whole area, under his command, and like everyone just high-fiving after every play. And knowing that he was there, he gave so many people hope that our section was really like knowing that this was going to happen.
And also the only reason that we were even in that section is because a guard that worked in that section recognized me and upgraded our seats because we were all the way up in like the 400. But we're just like watching ants like run back and forth. Like, come on, ref, that's a foul.
Yeah. The guard who shall remain nameless because we don't want to mess up our plug. But yeah, everything just worked out amazingly, and just I think we probably stayed in our seats for at least an hour after the game, celebrating, just reveling in the moment and just taking it all in and knowing how big of a time that was. And we really, really got to enjoy it. And that was, such a blessing for all of us. And it was such a blessing to be able to be a blessing to so many other people. And just when you thought it was going to die down, the story just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it culminated in not only us going, but we went to the biggest game ever. And the story got even bigger. And so we got home like at 1:00 in the morning. He had school the next day.
And then we had to wake up at 5 to do an interview.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We had to be live on Good Morning America and CBS the next day. He was on Despierta America. Yeah, it was crazy.
Telemundo.
Yeah.
Did you speak Spanish?
Sí.
Okay.
Yeah,
Muy bien.
He did. And that was amazing. And to see him, because he really has been intentional these last couple of years in trying to learn Spanish, and how he has a tutor, and to be able to do something like that, I'm just like, I could never do the things that he's doing at his age, at my age. I could never imagine being in a position like that. And he's taken it all in and been so graceful with it. And then, and then it became like an international story. Then we're doing interviews in Australia,
wow,
and Canada, and it's like, and at some point we just became like robots, just telling the story over and over again. So it didn't really seem real. Like, was this really it? Like, and they're really about to win a championship? And then they actually win the thing.
Yeah, that was what made the thing come full circle, even more than the 10,000 other full circle moments that I already had. Like, the icing on the cherry on top is the Knicks actually winning the championship. Like, that's
okay. But I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to be honest with me, Carmelo. Okay, because I'm sure your dad and I were watching the game to the very second, waiting for something to go wrong, because that's what we've been used to. What were your thoughts up until the last shot that Wemby took?
My thoughts. I always had hope that we could come back because that was what the point of every game. The Spurs hold the double-digit lead, and then 4 out of 5 times they choke that up in the second half, and the Knicks become the Knicks of this year. We got hot at the perfect time, and it lasted until
So you knew it was gonna happen pretty much. You just waited to scream, and me and your dad were ready to cry.
Yeah. I braced myself for, you know what? Hey, at least they're coming back to the Garden.
Yeah.
And then I selfishly was like, hey, maybe we'll get tickets to that game. Yeah, I was trying to find a silver lining to all of this. And then I was like, no, like this is gonna happen right now. Like I can't. And I had done so much crying for these Knicks that I didn't think it was possible. I was like, no, I'm gonna be happy, but I'm just so exhausted.
Same. Like
I'm so emotionally drained. I was like, I can't until they actually did it. And he's standing right next to me. And it doesn't get, honestly, guys, like it doesn't get any better than that. Like that's.
Well, I'm gonna say something, and I know Brian has a question, but I want to say this. I envy you because in Game 4. My youngest son's not emotional. He's 16. He doesn't hug. He doesn't do anything. I don't know why, because we're huggers.
Yes.
And Game 4, when they won, I couldn't watch. I was like, oh my god! And they won the tip and everything. I hugged him and I was crying. And he hugged me back. But in Game 5, when they won, I sat there like in shock. Like it was almost like when I don't know who went behind Wemby and hit him. I thought he like swatted at him. I thought he was gonna follow him if he made it. So wait until the final whistle blew. I'm just sitting there in shock. Like I look back now, oh my God, I should have grabbed my kids and jumped up and down. I had nothing left. I was like, oh my God, they actually did it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I was numb for days.
Yeah.
It didn't really, I mean, thank God for all these videos and having to stay on top of everything so I could kind of remember that it actually happened and that this isn't just like a dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then of course being in the city, it was electric. And like he pointed out earlier, so much negativity going on in the world, right? There's so much like tribalism going on and pick a side on any given issue.
Yeah.
And whatever it be, politics, sports, religion, you pick your topic. And the Knicks was kind of like the one unifier, especially in New York, where there's so many millions of people, where everybody got behind them.
Yep.
And I mean, the crime was like non-existent.
Really? It was the best time to be in New York.
I don't think there was any murders reported in New York throughout that entire run. So it benefited the city to have the Knicks on top. But it was great. I mean, to go outside and see people from all walks of life just celebrate, even the casual fans and the bandwagon guys. Like, it didn't matter. Everyone got behind something. And being outside, I realized how much of an impact my son had on all these other people. Like, there were people, grown men, just crying. Yeah, just crying on the spot, trying to explain how much his videos touched them personally. And I can relate because, same thing happened to me, and if he wasn't my son, if I would have saw his videos, I would have had those same emotions. And it's, such an honor to have him be able to bring that out of people. And it's just been an amazing run. And on it, like, it's never going to change. And, so many great things are starting to happen, and opportunities, we're being presented with opportunities. That's amazing. But, you can never take away this championship from us and the impact that there's people that think like how people are superstitious when it comes to sports. They're like, yeah, no, the only reason we won is because he was in the building. It's like, yeah, we need to get this kid season tickets, or, they're
82-0.
Yeah. People wanted they wanted to start another GoFundMe just to fly us in a private jet to go to San Antonio for the game. He was just like, he provided the mojo for the team. So it's just been, I'm still a little bit in shock and disbelief still that I guess the only bigger thing would be if the Mets were to actually win. But I think this year is just we've had too much with the Knicks. Like we're gonna have to give the city a little break. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to take it.
And also, during this entire stretch, try to count how many times I've just been sobbing. Like, I'm sure my tear ducts are have just evaporated at this point.
Yeah, at this point it's almost like cruel because all right, stop with the surprises, guys. I'm even getting into it with my wife because I'm like second guessing everything that she says. I have to pull her to the side. I'm like, okay, be honest. It's are you sure? There's I can't handle this. What else do you have up your sleeve? And she's for now, it's been kind of quiet.
So
yeah.
No, I've been curious this whole time as you were discussing it. I mentioned a little bit, but so you're 12. Does that mean you're going into 7th grade, 6th grade?
Yes.
7th grade. Okay, so you're middle school, right? So, what is the dynamic with you at school? Are you everybody's best friend now, or is it? Do you find friends that you never thought you had? What's the
bandwagon friends?
a lot of bandwagon friends. What's going on?
I mean, I do have a lot of friends at school. Even in different grades. I had my friend Evan, who's going into 8th next year, over at my house just yesterday.
Yeah.
I've been keeping tabs with them on what's been happening with me. Things that's been happening, it just doesn't sound real. Am I lying to them at this point?
Yeah, it was a little insane because he goes to a smaller private school, and they got out of school earlier than the rest of the public school in New York. And he was actually studying for the finals as the Knicks were in the finals. So it's we let him stay up, but it was kind of you still have a huge test to take the next day. And and for him, he's been used to the viral attention. So it's kind of he thinks this is normal. He doesn't understand fully how big of a deal some of this attention actually is. But even all the parents and teachers, they were in complete disbelief. Oh my God, he was on Good Morning America, but
3 times.
But he's on Good Morning America, but it's you have a math final in an hour.
Come on, kid, get back to earth. You got to go to school now.
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, you gotta finish this test.
That's funny.
So I know you're Mr. Celebrity, but
so he didn't really have a chance to kind of milk it yet. I'm pretty sure. Going to next year is when he's gonna really, have his moments of I did that.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be around the time that school starts, that the 2026-2027 season begins. I'm pretty sure that on orientation day they're also gonna give me the ring.
Oh,
not get ahead of ourselves, everybody.
Hey,
it might be
I would take it away from Spike Lee and I'd give it to you.
Oh, wait a minute. So it gets even bigger, right? So of course, Michael Strahan is on Good Morning America.
Oh yeah.
And Michael Strahan, when he originally when they just ran the story without us being there live in person, he was I wonder if this kid's middle name is Michael. I'll give him Giants tickets.
Oh yeah,
and I'm a huge Giants fan.
Same.
See, I gotta come to New York and hang with you because I'm a Giants fan too. See, here we go.
Well, there you go.
He's got all the same teams.
Knicks,
yeah.
Giants, we're on the same party.
So then when he had the opportunity to go to Good Morning America and meet all the players as soon as they came back, their first stop on their media tour was at Good Morning America. And they invited him to be there when that all happened. And so first of all, so when they come down, there's other group of kids, and these guys are exhausted. They've been partying, drinking they haven't slept in days. And then you see Mikal Bridges, they all, they gave him 5, they passed him. Then Mikal Bridges stops and he turns around and he said, and then he taps Josh Hart and he's like, "That's Carmelo."
Wow.
And I was like, I thought these guys, like, I didn't think they're so locked in on the games. I know they're not watching social media or anything, but and then they just had a laugh and was like, "Oh my God, that's really him." They couldn't believe that he was there. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, like this is really happening." So then Michael Strahan sees him and it's like, "Wait a minute, I know you. You're Carmelo." And he gave him, a big hug and started talking to him. And he said, when the season starts, we want to see you at a Giants game. So I'm like, okay, sure, absolutely.
And then he pointed out our matching tooth gap.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's funny is like he's supposed to get braces. I was like, "Hey, babe," I told my wife,
I got a balance band.
You're not getting braces now,
kid.
Cancel.
Hold off on the braces right now.
Cancel it. He's going to be co-hosting with Strahan soon.
Exactly.
So as it any of this early fame and early like attention, is this kind of made you think at all about what you want to do as an adult, like in your career later in life, or are you going to be able to? Has it changed your thinking, or has it molded your thoughts on that at all?
It has. I have been thinking a lot about what beginning last summer, me and Dad have been practicing basketball. I was on my school's team.
Nice.
Last year. I didn't play that much, but we fell just short of getting the title in our league. I have been thinking about taking basketball all the way sometimes.
Yeah. So you athletically, like you're motivated. Yeah.
But I did warn him. I was like, now you have that added pressure on you. You might want to rethink that because now.
Yeah, now they're going to be like, this guy has got to be like the top of the top.
Yeah, now they're coming for him.
Yeah, for sure. So you haven't really thought about doing anything in like on the media side or on the, some kind of rolling your sports fandom into something?
Yes, sports.
Yes.
She said yes. Mom said yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Mom agrees. I just feel like there's an opportunity there.
So he has.
I haven't really thought about it that much because, I have my entire life ahead of me. So
he's still in the moment, but yeah, he definitely has.
Okay, fine. I'll join the conversation.
Guys,
Mom's already.
Mom, join in.
She's got. Yeah. She's got you signed up for all that.
I actually just posted a video today of him just going over, which this is like him speaking another language to me. But I said, let's not think too much. Let's just get in front of the camera. And I just want you to talk about the trades or free agents, or whatever. And actually so many people, I haven't shared it with you because you've been on the podcast, but so many people love that content. It's something that you didn't think too much about, and they just love your take on what's happening with the Knicks. So for me,
Mitchell Robinson was a big loss.
Yeah,
For me, I've always loved his voice speaking about sports because he's so passionate about it. So as a mom, I'd love for this to, turn into something, whether it be like a podcast or just him, doing sports casting or something
like on-field interviews.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you want, I can help you because I've been there before. So whatever you need, you call me.
Yeah,
that would be so amazing.
As long as you take David to the next Knicks game with you.
Yeah, right.
I went to the one in Orlando.
It's the one you got to talk to.
We're so grateful, by the way, for you guys to ask him to do this as well. This is such an amazing opportunity. But yeah,
really cool.
It's been beautiful.
And it's been a lot to juggle with.
It became a full-time job for me.
For all of us. Yeah, it's like everybody wants to go viral until you go viral, so you understand what.
See, Brian, we don't need to go viral, Brian. See?
You can't. Spin and I tried to plan it, and it doesn't work, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is the video that's going to get our stuff on. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
it's got to be something that just happens.
You got to be prepared for everything that comes with it, because it goes fast, and you don't want to miss a message, especially when it's your kid. You want to make sure that you're staying on top of things, and because you lose control over where the video goes and what people are saying, and you want to delete anything that's inappropriate. And you don't want to miss an opportunity, right? We've had people be super gracious, and just they wanted to send us stuff, whether it be merch or they sent them flowers and food. Like it was just, it's insane. The amount of opportunities that come from this. So yeah, it's
been so positive so far. Just also for so many people to just hear Carmelo and just be interested in what he's saying or how he views life. And I think the gratefulness also just resonated with so many people. But really, before I go, I wanted to tap into what you said. You just never know. It's so funny because I originally posted it on my photography TikTok. And so as I posted it, that first video, I was like, this is not even a good time to post, but it's his birthday and I just want to post this. And then I put my phone down for about an hour because it's his birthday. So I wanted to make sure I was present. And then when I picked up the phone is when it was crazy. So that does, play into that theory that there is no right or wrong time to post on social media. It's the content that you're putting out. And if it resonates with people, that's what does the best.
Well,
and it doesn't.
I'll say one thing. I say that my algorithm, sometimes you're on social media and you see, I don't want to see that. You have helped my algorithm because now I get all these positive videos and stuff.
That's so great.
All the other garbage stuff doesn't show up. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing because I watch every one of your videos. So now it's perfect.
Yeah.
and we've gotten that a lot. So many people were so happy. They were like, we want more of this and more of this kid, because it was so many. It was video after video after video that resonated with people and really brought like real emotions out of them. So now we kind of have to post because now people are like, they are waiting. They want to hear what he has to say or what he's doing.
Oh yeah, I can't find myself going on there. Where's the next video?
And now my mom, I forgot what I was gonna say.
You're fine, buddy.
Oh yeah. So now my mom's feed is now like entirely like, nix this, nix that.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
A lot. With today's video, I'm like, how do you spell this name? And just like, because I have no idea. I know basketball, but not to the extent that he does. But also, on another positive note, I think that inadvertently we've also inspired a lot of people that were that knew somebody that stuttered, that stuttered themselves at some point in their life. And I think that has been, for me as a mom, the most beautiful takeaway that was not planned. I cannot tell you guys how many in those initial videos I got DMs because we were not mentioning the stuttering at all until we actually addressed it via an interview he just did with We Stutter. But prior to that, so many beautiful messages were coming in like, hey, I noticed he stutters and I cannot tell you, I'm crying because the confidence he has, I wish I had at that age. So that is a beautiful blessing that we did not obviously even intentionally share or not share. It's just how it was. So how that impacted positively so many people was so beautiful. And we're so lucky that we got to share that part as well.
Yeah, and continuing to share.
Yeah.
And so oddly enough, what was the day after Game 4, right? When we did Access Hollywood?
Yes.
Yeah, we had no idea that Access Hollywood had interviewed Carmelo Anthony before the game, before they met, because he knew that they were going to meet. And they asked him, what he'd like to say to Carmelo. And he said to keep using his voice because he has such a special, unique voice. and to keep using it because you see it got to me, and I was able to do this for him because of him. So it's like in terms of posting, to bring it back to the content. So it doesn't matter, if you're putting out good content or what you feel is good, you might not get the views at first. But so now that all this other stuff has gone viral, things that he's posted, a year, 2 years ago, now people are going into those things and stopping us in the middle of the street and telling us, oh, wow, your video sent me down a rabbit hole, and I saw this that you posted then, and that related so much to me, and I sent it to this person, and those things are having an impact on people.
Except he has like a video when he was 4 dancing to Meg Thee Stallion, and that's now getting some traction so far.
Yeah, that's okay too. It's okay.
So Carmelo, I want to ask you a favor, okay? So I went to Christ the King High School and graduated in 1991.
Nice.
I know the coach that coached Alvarado. So I did reach out to say, hey, you want to come on the show? So if you ever want to say, hey, I know a guy from Christ the King High School and it was part of the basketball thing back then, I wouldn't be upset if you did that. So just throwing it out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
That
That's
would
awesome.
be great.
See, I have a big connection. I was born in East New York, Brooklyn. I'm from there, and unfortunately lived down, Florida for 20 years. Not unfortunately, brought my kids down here, but the passion that we share for these teams, for sports in New York, I don't share for the Yankees, but anyway, for the passion we share for these sports, it just brings people together. Carmelo, what you have been sharing on social media has truly, inspired so many. Like I said to you earlier, the voice, I saw the video about the stuttering, and I shared with your mom that, at times when I was younger, I also had issues, with speaking, and sometimes I catch myself on the show and I want to edit it out, but I'm like, no, that's just me. It's who I am. And Brian's like, oh, I didn't see it, but I see it. I hear it. I sometimes forget what I'm going to say. It doesn't come out correctly, but it's a beautiful voice you have. And don't have anyone ever say, well, they're not going to bother you now because you're a superstar in New York.
Yeah.
But don't let anyone ever say anything negative to you. You always stay where you are positive. You are such a positive kid. You're smiling. You smile through this whole thing. Like you're just a shining light. I can see the way that your parents raised you. First of all, they raised you right to be a Met fan. Okay, I know we're struggling, but when they win, you're gonna appreciate it just like you appreciate the Knicks. I waited. I'm 53 years old, so 53 years I've waited. Okay, so that's another thing, right? 53 years I've waited, and my 53rd
Perfect timing.
I was born 2 weeks after they won in '73.
Oh, wow.
So I've struggled a lot so it's a huge connection. But anyway, just keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Keep the videos going. Keep the smiles. Even when days feel like you don't want to do it, you are inspiring so many of us to do what we do. What me and Brian do right here is to share these stories. And it's funny, we have a little bit more subscribers than you do on YouTube, but you're going to blow us away. And we just keep sharing these stories and hope that people will see what we're trying to do. Like, I don't want to be famous like you because I can't deal with people talking to me on the street like that. But I love to be able to share these stories of what your parents just built for you. And just keep doing it. Don't stop. Wherever it takes you. If it takes you to a basketball court, I'll be waiting for that one-hand, God-of-hand shot that you're going to do to help us win.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, those were great. I appreciate the story, and I'm gonna be. I wasn't following the Knicks as closely as David was during the finals. Once the Pistons got knocked out, I kind of periodically watched a few of the NBA games, but I saw some of the videos and what you guys are doing, and just hearing your story and the connection that you guys all have as a family. It's really cool to see, and I'm hoping you continue to do big things.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're blessed to be in this position, and we're excited about where this is going to take us. We know this is just the beginning of the road we have.
And we'd love to share whatever you guys come up with on the podcast. So once it's done,
We're
videos looking at
going
it,
to put it everywhere.
share it with us, and we'll share it on our channels. And I already posted some BTS on our stories. So just appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
No, definitely. And Brian, I'm telling you, I didn't tell Brian earlier, but this morning I'm like, this is going to be one of the greatest podcasts we've done because the connection between the fan base. It's
I think
you know,
it really screams authenticity, and I think that's going to resonate so much. So
Absolutely.
And Felix, I have to tell you, so we did. I had to say, I forgot. We did interview Wally Backman. So we had him on episode like 98, and it was great because that's a Mets, whatever. So it just feels different. And I was saying that today. It just feels different. It's like you guys are in New York. That's my hometown, my teams, everything else, and the passion. So I'm gonna show it to my kids and say, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and that's another great thing that we've been able to do, because we know there's so many people that moved out of New York that wish they could be in New York for all of this, and they're just following along with the videos, and it means a lot to them. So
when Brown and them say, the Knicks say, hey, New York City, and no, there's other fans. We're just moved away. We're all over the country. We're everywhere.
You're all in Florida, David. And everybody's. You could go anywhere.
In the city, Brian. I don't know where you live, but David, if you're ever in the city,
I'm in the Orlando.
Okay, yeah, we'd love to meet up with you guys in person.
I'm in Florida too.
He's in Southwest, and I'm in Orlando.
Yeah, if you're ever in Florida, I will. It's like driving from Brooklyn to Staten Island, but I get further along.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wait, so where you're like in the Tampa area? Or?
I'm in Cape Coral.
Cape Coral.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so if you're ever in the city or we're in Florida, we'd love to meet you guys in person.
Definitely.
Absolutely. My son George would would get along real well. Yeah. He's David's seen it and all of his stuff, and George loves to talk. So you guys would hit it off for sure.
Yeah.
So hey, well, we could probably talk all night about this stuff, but we're gonna we'll wrap it up here, and we'll continue to share your story and get that out. We're very excited about releasing this episode so that more people can see it.
And we look forward to you guys having us back when the Mets win.
No, you're gonna come on again, because Carmelo has to give me some NBA footage that some stats or free agent. Maybe we'll bring you on the free agent call.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, appreciate you guys.
Thank you, guys. This was episode 113.